Have you ever wondered why some people seem incapable of showing respect? Is their unkindness a reflection of who you are or of something hidden within themselves? In moments of disrespect, you may feel anger or doubt creeping in. But what if those very moments are your chance to grow? Today, we'll uncover how dignity and self-respect can turn conflict into inner peace. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more meaningful reflections. And if you find value in this video, give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. When someone disrespects you, it's tempting to believe their behavior defines your worth. But often, their unkindness has little to do with you. People carry invisible burdens, fear, insecurity, or frustration that manifest as anger. Their sharp words or dismissive actions may be a projection of their inner struggles. Understanding this doesn't excuse poor behavior, but it allows you to view their actions with clarity rather than taking them personally. Remember, the storm they bring may not be about you. It may be a tempest within them. Your response to disrespect reflects your inner strength. Maintaining calm in moments of conflict isn't submission, it's power. A composed response shows that you refuse to be pulled into chaos. Imagine someone raising their voice, expecting anger in return. When you reply with restraint, you're making a statement. Your dignity is not determined by someone else's actions. Calm words have a way of diffusing tension. They remind both you and those around you that respect isn't something you mirror, it's something you carry within. But staying calm doesn't mean you should accept mistreatment. Healthy relationships require mutual respect. There's a difference between grace and passivity. Sometimes, setting a boundary is the greatest act of self-respect. Boundaries aren't walls, they're guidelines for how you deserve to be treated. Saying, "I won't continue this conversation if it's disrespectful," isn't shutting someone out, it's protecting your peace. If someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, stepping away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Grace is not about what someone else deserves, it's about who you choose to be. By choosing kindness over retaliation, you remain in control of your story. Disrespect often feels like a personal attack, but it's more often a reflection of someone else's pain or inadequacy. Recognizing this empowers you to respond thoughtfully. But don't confuse grace with acceptance of poor treatment. True grace is rooted in strength that rises above, but never surrenders to negativity. Many people who show disrespect were never taught respect themselves. Some grew up surrounded by harshness, never experiencing the kindness they're now asked to give. Others are too weighed down by their daily battles to see how their actions impact others. While empathy can help you stay grounded, it doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior. Empathy allows you to understand someone's struggle without allowing it to define your experience. It is a shield, not an open door to mistreatment. Boundaries are a declaration of self-worth. They remind others that while you may be kind, you will not be diminished. Consistency is key. Boundaries must be reinforced, not just stated once. If you allow someone to cross a line without consequence, you send a message that the line wasn't firm to begin with. Maintaining boundaries is not about controlling others, it's about deciding how you will respond and what you will allow. If someone's behavior consistently disrespects your values, you may need to reconsider their role in your life. Self-respect is the cornerstone of healthy relationships. When you respect yourself, you set the tone for how others treat you. Knowing your worth frees you from seeking validation. It enables you to walk away from arguments that offer no resolution and reminds you that silence can be an act of strength. Self-respect isn't about arrogance, it's about anchoring yourself in a truth that isn't shaken by the actions of others. Reflect on your own life. Are there places where your boundaries could be clearer? Relationships where your voice could be stronger? Walking away from a harmful dynamic doesn't mean you've lost, it means you've chosen yourself. True strength lies in protecting your peace, even when it's hard. As you move through life, remember that your dignity is invaluable. When others test your resolve, respond with calm and courage. With time, your ability to remain grounded will grow, and the respect you show yourself will shape your relationships for the better. Respect is a two-way street. But what happens when someone you trusted or admired chooses to walk in the opposite direction? Disrespect can sting, making you question your strength or whether you deserve better treatment. But here's the truth: you are not defined by how others treat you. Instead, your power lies in how you respond. By holding on to your dignity, you choose self-respect over the chaos others try to bring into your life. When someone speaks to you with condescension or harshness, you may feel the urge to snap back or defend yourself. But here's the thing: retaliation often fuels the very fire you're trying to put out. A calm, measured response is not only disarming, it reaffirms your control over the situation. It sends a powerful message that your peace is unshaken. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a breath, pause, and remind yourself that your identity is not at stake. One composed answer can shift the entire tone of a conversation. However, responding calmly doesn't mean you must endure hurtful behavior without limits. Respect that isn't mutual becomes toxic, and tolerating it over time can chip away at your self-esteem. This is where boundaries become essential. A clear boundary, respectfully communicated, helps others understand how you expect to be treated. A statement like, "I value open conversations, but I won't engage when I'm being disrespected," lets the other person know where you stand. If they continue, stepping away shows them that your peace of mind matters more than their approval. Setting boundaries isn't easy, especially if you're someone who has always tried to avoid conflict. But boundaries are not about creating distance, they're about creating clarity. They teach others how to treat you and, more importantly, remind you how much you value yourself. At first, you may feel discomfort, even guilt. You might wonder if you're being too harsh. But remember, protecting your emotional well-being is not selfish, it's necessary. People who respect you will honor your boundaries. Those who don't may fall away, and that's okay. Grace plays an essential role in navigating moments of disrespect. Choosing grace over revenge doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're wise. Grace allows you to rise above petty exchanges and keep your dignity intact. It's not about letting things slide or pretending something didn't hurt. Instead, it's about choosing not to let someone else's negativity take root in your mind. By practicing grace, you free yourself from the cycle of bitterness that retaliation often breeds. You can acknowledge someone's pain without taking it on as your own. Many times, disrespect isn't about you at all, it's about what the other person is carrying. Some people lash out because they feel small inside and believe that tearing someone else down will make them feel stronger. Others may not even realize the weight of their words because they've never been taught to communicate with kindness or respect. This doesn't mean you should excuse their actions, but understanding their behavior helps you avoid internalizing it. You can respond with empathy without tolerating mistreatment. Boundaries, paired with empathy, create a powerful balance. You can show compassion for someone's struggles while still holding firm in your standards. Imagine telling someone calmly, "I know you're going through something difficult, but I deserve to be spoken to with respect." This type of communication reinforces that you care, but not at the expense of your self-worth. Empathy isn't about sacrificing your peace, it's about staying true to your values while understanding the complexity of others. Ultimately, choosing self-respect means deciding that your value isn't up for debate. You don't need to prove your worth by winning arguments or changing someone's mind. Your self-respect comes from knowing who you are, not from how others perceive you. The way you hold yourself in difficult moments speaks volumes about your inner strength. And sometimes, the greatest proof of that strength is knowing when to walk away. There will come a time when you realize that staying silent doesn't mean surrender, it means choosing your battles wisely. Not every moment of disrespect deserves a response. Sometimes your silence can be more powerful than any words you could speak. Why? Because it shows that your sense of self isn't fragile, it doesn't rise and fall based on someone else's opinion. When you refuse to engage in unnecessary conflict, you send a clear message. Your energy is too valuable to be spent on negativity. Maintaining your peace doesn't mean avoiding hard conversations. It means knowing when to step away from arguments that serve no purpose. Some people don't seek resolution. They seek control or validation. When you sense that a discussion is becoming a battle of egos rather than an honest exchange, give yourself permission to disengage. Silence in these moments isn't avoidance, it's wisdom. It's the ability to recognize when continuing the conversation would only drain your spirit rather than uplift it. However, it's important to understand that choosing silence and maintaining boundaries doesn't mean avoiding accountability in your relationships. Boundaries are there to foster respect, not to shut people out. In healthy relationships, boundaries clarify expectations and help both parties understand what mutual respect looks like. But when those lines are crossed repeatedly, stepping back becomes necessary. Protecting your peace is not a sign of defeat, it's a declaration that you will no longer allow yourself to be drawn into someone else's chaos. Self-respect thrives when you stay true to your values, even when emotions run high. There may be times when you feel justified anger bubbling to the surface. In those moments, remember this. The goal isn't to suppress your feelings, it's to express them with intention rather than impulse. You can be firm without being cruel, assertive without being aggressive. A calm but resolute voice has more impact than a raised one. Your ability to articulate your feelings without losing control reinforces your self-respect and teaches others how to approach you in the future. Empathy is another key to maintaining dignity during conflict. It can be difficult to show kindness when you're being mistreated, but empathy doesn't mean condoning bad behavior, it means seeing the bigger picture. When you acknowledge that someone's actions may stem from their own inner struggles, it allows you to separate their behavior from your worth. Empathy reminds you that their words do not define you. Instead of reacting defensively, you can respond from a place of understanding while still holding your ground. But let's be clear, empathy doesn't mean giving endless chances to someone who repeatedly disrespects you. Forgiveness and empathy can exist alongside boundaries. It's possible to understand someone's pain and still walk away if their behavior becomes harmful. Walking away doesn't make you cold or unkind, it shows that you respect yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. Some connections aren't meant to last, especially if they're built on patterns of disrespect. When you walk away from disrespect, you're not quitting, you're choosing peace over conflict. You're telling yourself that your emotional energy is too precious to waste. Self-respect isn't about proving your worth to others, it's about recognizing your worth and protecting it. And the beauty of self-respect is that the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you'll find yourself handling difficult situations with more grace and confidence because you've built the habit of choosing calm over chaos. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, in what areas of your life could you be kinder to yourself by setting clearer boundaries? Are there conversations you've been replaying in your mind that are draining your peace? Let those moments go. Trust that not everything needs closure. Sometimes, the only resolution you need is the quiet reassurance that you handled the situation with dignity. Self-respect is a quiet but profound strength. It guides how you speak, how you carry yourself, and what you choose to accept. But what happens when someone tests that strength? When they try to undermine your peace with criticism, harsh words, or dismissive actions? In these moments, remember that you are not obligated to prove your worth to anyone. You are allowed to set boundaries, protect your energy, and walk away when necessary. One of the greatest challenges in life is resisting the urge to react when you feel wronged. But true power isn't found in a quick comeback, it's found in choosing how you will respond. By pausing and reflecting, you regain control over your actions rather than letting your emotions drive you. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings, it means you acknowledge them without letting them dictate your behavior. When you respond from a place of calm, you show others that you refuse to be pulled into their negativity. Responding with calmness doesn't make you passive, it makes you wise. It shows that your dignity isn't tied to someone else's opinion of you. Imagine someone raising their voice in anger, expecting you to mirror their frustration. When you remain composed, you're not only protecting your peace, you're sending a powerful message. Your sense of self-worth is not fragile. A calm response has the power to defuse tension. But even if it doesn't, it leaves you with the confidence that you've remained true to your values. However, there will be times when calm words are not enough. Some individuals may test your boundaries repeatedly, assuming your kindness is weakness. This is when it becomes crucial to stand firm. Setting boundaries doesn't make you harsh, it makes you clear. It's not about building walls, it's about defining what you will and won't tolerate. Saying, "I won't be spoken to that way," isn't confrontational, it's a reminder that you honor yourself enough to expect respect. And if the disrespect continues, stepping away isn't surrender, it's strength. Grace doesn't mean allowing others to take advantage of you. It means choosing peace, but never at the cost of your self-respect. It's possible to be compassionate while remaining strong. Grace can sound like, "I understand you're upset, but I won't accept being treated this way." It's a refusal to meet aggression with aggression. But grace doesn't mean endless tolerance, it means knowing when to walk away for your own well-being. Empathy is an incredible tool for staying grounded, but it's important to balance empathy with self-protection. While it's helpful to recognize that someone's anger or disrespect may come from their own pain, that recognition doesn't require you to absorb their negativity. You can care for someone's struggles without making their emotional turmoil your own. Healthy empathy has boundaries, it acknowledges someone else's pain without sacrificing your peace of mind. Walking away from toxic dynamics isn't failure, it's self-preservation. Some relationships or conversations aren't meant to be saved, especially when they consistently chip away at your confidence. Leaving doesn't mean you've given up, it means you've chosen to prioritize your well-being over unnecessary conflict. You deserve connections that uplift and inspire you, not ones that drain you. When you let go of relationships built on disrespect, you create space for healthier, more meaningful bonds. Think of self-respect as an anchor. No matter how rough the waters of life become, that anchor keeps you steady. It reminds you that your value isn't determined by external validation. When someone criticizes you unjustly, you don't have to internalize their words. When someone dismisses you, their behavior doesn't diminish your worth. Self-respect allows you to remain calm in the face of storms because you know your identity isn't up for negotiation. Take a moment to reflect on the people and situations that test your self-respect. Ask yourself, am I setting clear boundaries, or am I compromising my peace? Your peace is a gift, it's yours to protect. Self-respect is a daily practice, not a single choice. It shows up in the small moments, the way you speak to yourself after a mistake, the way you handle criticism, and the way you honor your time and energy. When you prioritize your dignity, you remind yourself that you deserve to be treated with care and respect, not only by others but by yourself. There will be times when someone's words cut deeper than expected, and you'll feel the urge to replay the conversation in your mind, questioning if you should have handled things differently. But here's a truth that's easy to forget. Your self-worth isn't measured by someone else's ability to see your value. Their opinion doesn't define you, you do. When you remind yourself of this, you free yourself from the trap of overthinking and self-blame. Instead of dwelling on the past, you can focus on what you've learned and how you've grown. Forgiveness plays an important role in protecting your peace, but it's often misunderstood. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you excuse their actions or invite them back into your life. It means you release the weight of what happened so it doesn't control you. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy stone. It drains you without changing the past. Forgiveness allows you to lay that burden down, not for their sake, but for yours. When you forgive, you're not condoning their behavior, you're reclaiming your freedom. However, forgiveness doesn't erase the need for boundaries. In fact, it reinforces them. You can forgive someone and still choose to distance yourself if their behavior remains toxic. Walking away after forgiving isn't contradictory, it's clarity. It's the recognition that while you wish them peace, you must also protect your own. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and when that respect isn't present, stepping back becomes an act of self-love. Self-respect also means speaking to yourself with kindness, especially when you fall short of your own expectations. We're often our harshest critics, replaying mistakes and amplifying moments of weakness. But true self-respect involves self-compassion. It means understanding that you are human and that growth comes from moments of vulnerability, not perfection. When you make a mistake, instead of tearing yourself down, remind yourself, I'm learning, I'm trying, and that's enough. The way you speak to yourself shapes how you handle life's challenges. Personal integrity is another cornerstone of self-respect. Integrity means living in alignment with your values, even when it's inconvenient or difficult. It's about being true to who you are, regardless of how others may view you. People who live with integrity don't need constant validation. They draw confidence from knowing they are honoring their principles. This inner security strengthens your ability to remain calm and composed when others try to shake your confidence. There's immense power in knowing when to walk away. Some battles aren't worth fighting because they lead nowhere but exhaustion. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've chosen to value your time, energy, and peace. It's not about abandoning relationships recklessly. It's about knowing when a dynamic no longer serves your growth. By letting go of what no longer aligns with your well-being, you make space for relationships and experiences that uplift you. In life, you'll encounter people and situations that challenge your self-respect. But each challenge is an opportunity to reaffirm your worth and practice the art of grace under pressure. The journey of self-respect isn't about never facing conflict. It's about navigating it with resilience and wisdom. Your dignity is your anchor, keeping you steady through it all. Thank you for being here today. If this message encouraged you, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more reflections that nurture your inner peace. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you stay grounded when your self-respect is tested? Your insights could be the encouragement someone else needs. Remember, every time you honor your worth, you inspire others to do the same. Stay kind, stay strong, and take care of yourself. You deserve it.